Alright YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today guys, we are gonna talk about secret packs. No, not selection packs, secret packs. So the difference between the two is secret packs can be attained by dismantling or crafting SRs or URs of that specific secret pack, or if you pull them from the master pack. Secret packs are just limited for 24 hours in the store but is entirely accessible in the game once you open those SRs or URs. Selection packs, on the other hand, is limited only for a couple of months in the game, and afterwards they're going to be removed entirely. Now, this is a follow-up video for my top 10 secret packs. This being because we got a lot of secret packs added into the game as well since that video was released. So this might help you guys understand more on the new secret packs that is going to be really good for the game as well if you are new or even an old player of Master Duel. So two other reasons why I really wanted to make this video as well is to update, of course, the people on the new secret packs added into the game. Second of all, to give knowledge to what secret packs you should go into and not just basically open some random secret packs that you don't really know what are the contents of. Yeah, I'm gonna be separating them in 4 parts. So that is first the deck building secret pack, so the secret packs that you can make an entire deck out of it. The second one would be some engine secret packs. So some of the secret packs has really good engine cards in them, so I will talk about it in a bit. Third, we'll have also secret packs that has really good staples in them. Lastly, secret packs that has their own structure deck, so you don't need to open that specific secret pack but instead just buy the structure deck. So that is all the 4 topics that we're going to be covering up today. Without further ado, let's go towards the first one, which is the deck building. Alright, so for the sake of this video, I will be removing my face here because it's gonna be a hindrance with most of the cards that we're gonna be talking about anyways. For your deck building secret packs, I am just gonna include the ones that has 1 or 2 supports from other secret packs. If it has 3 or more supports from other secret packs, I am not gonna mention that one here. So Guardian of the Sacred Summit. So this is basically the Sword Soul secret pack with, of course, 2 archetypes added into it, which is the Yang Zing and the Sword Soul. So typically, with if you are making a deck for the Sword Soul, you basically need 3 copies of Mu Yi. I'm not sure people are running Danglong at the moment. It was very famous before when Haki Fibrex was still on the game. Xishao, you need 2 copies of this. The Xiaofeng, you need 1 copy of this. Some people are not running Xiaofeng. Also, you can go for 1 copy of Sheng Ying and 1 copy of Qixing Lung Yuan as one of your Sword Soul extra deck monsters. So basically, most of the extra deck monsters are 1 or 2 copies only. For the SRs, you typically need 3 copies of Emergence, 3 copies of or 2 copies of Incredible Ecclesia depending on your build, 1 copy of Yazi and 2 copies of Baxia depending on the build as well. So 1 to 2 copies for it. And this is just SR, so really attainable, or it is really easy enough to attain. Commons, I'm not sure if there's going to be notable ones here that you can basically use. But yeah, rares, you have 1 Summit in some of the builds and Blackout in 1 copy in some of the builds. With Thea, of course, with 2 copies and Long Yuan on 2 copies. Now, other supporting secret packs that you can go into for the Sword Souls is the Tenyi. And Tenyis are typically like rare and commons that you basically need. So most of the support cards like the Ashina and the Vishuddha are rare in rarity, and of course the Adhara. So it's easy enough to craft if ever you have some extra shards for the rare ones. The Monk of the Tenyi is a common, so you can easily craft this one if ever you want it. You have also Heavenly Dragon Circle on rare copies, so you can craft that one as well. The only high rarities for this is the Shaman of the Tenyi and Draco Berserker of the Tenyi for the Tenyi pack. So that is the first secret pack for you guys. Let's move towards the second secret pack. Alright, so for our second secret pack right here, guys, we have the Ultimate Traditional Art. Now, this is typically the Punk secret pack. So the best thing about this is you basically have all of the core cards that you'll need to make the Punk archetype. Dear note, you need 2 copies of this. The Rising Carp, you need 1 copy. Amazing Dragon, some people are running 1 copy of this, but I do prefer going for 2 copies. Psychic End Punisher is 1 copy, and then that's basically it. The only downside for this secret pack is it shares the Karakuris, which is machine monsters. But nevertheless, if you're going for punks, you'll be sharing most of your pulls with the Karakuris as well. For the SRs, you need Gem Dragon Drive on 2 copies, Foxy Tune and Overdance on 3 copies. The Xiamin, you need 3 copies of this, a really good searcher as well, and a level 3 tuner. and 1 copy of Extreme Session as your only field spell, which you can search out with a copy of your Wagon. And we have the rare in rarities, the Wagon, the Madame Spider, and the Sharkusai, which is a 1-of in all of your decks for the Punk archetype. For the commons, on the other hand, we only have the Dangerous Gabu and the Dashiwari Surprise. So that's basically it for... I'm not sure about the other Punk spell cards. The only important one is the field spell, which is really important. But nevertheless, that is the Punk archetype for you. With regards to some supports for the secret pack, I think they don't really have like a ton of really good supports from other secret packs. That being, you can go first, which is common nowadays, is Kashiras added into the Punks. They don't really have a secret pack, but a selection pack. Some other good archetypes for the Punk engines is the Bishals. So Bishals has already been removed from the selection pack a while ago, like last month I think. But nevertheless, the Bishals is a really good synergy as well for the Punks. So that is the Punk secret pack for you. Let's go towards our third secret pack. Alright, so for our third secret pack, we have the Trap in the Wicked Castle. This is the Labyrinth secret pack. So the thing about this is you'll be sharing this, or the Labyrinth is sharing this secret pack with the Necrofear secret pack, or the Necrofear archetype I mean. So you'll have chances of getting some Necrofear cards as well. I'm not sure if you really want that, but nevertheless, the most important one for the archetype are all URs, or the core cards that you'll need for the deck is all URs. That being Lovely Castle on 1 copy is still here. Lady Labyrinth is 2 copies in the deck, so you can pull that one here. The Big Welcome on 3 and the Welcome Labyrinth, it's 2 to 3 depending on your build. But yeah, most of the cards that you really need for the deck are URs. It's easy enough to attain, of course, because it is just in 1 secret pack. SRs, on the other hand, you have 3 copies of Ariana. I think no one really used Ariani, or 1 copy of, depending on the build. King Backjack, it was famous before the Lady Labyrinth was added into the game. But now they face to exist in the Labyrinth decks as well. Labyrinth, on the other hand, you can go with 1 copy of this. Archwin Ghastly Glitch, people are running 2 copies of this in a deck. Some people are not really using them as well, because they prefer going with more furniture labyrinths. For the rare cards, you basically have 1 copy of Kuklak just to activate your trap cards during that turn. And for the commons, you'll basically running 3 copies of Stovey and 3 copies of Chandragleer in your deck as well. So that is the Labyrinth archetype for you guys. The only downside for the Labyrinth archetype is if ever you'll be using Dogmatic of Punishment, then you'll typically need good targets from your extra deck. Extra deck monsters that you'll really need to support this archetype are RURs, Entes, Garura, and a copy of the Fossil Monsters, which are SRs in rarity. That being also, Chaos Angel is a really good synchro monster that you can go into, since you basically need 2 materials of a level 2 and a level 8 on the field. But nevertheless, I think that's somewhat of an expensive deck that you can go into, but very worth it. Labyrinth is a really strong deck, whether it is going up against rogue or meta decks. So that is the Labyrinth secret pack for you guys. Let's move towards the next secret pack. Alright, so for our next secret pack, we have here the Singular Strike Overthrow. So this is typically 2 archetypes added into 1 secret pack. So this is the Math Mech and Sky Striker secret pack. So a lot of things is going to be talked about with this secret pack. So the thing here, most of your core cards, or the important cards, each of the archetype, as I would say, is on UR copies. So the Sigma on 1 copy, the Circular on 3 copies. I'm not sure people are running a copy of Hamp here. If ever they are, they're just running 1 copy. For the Sky Strikers, of course, they're running 3 copies of Kagari, 3 copies of Linkage, and 2 copies of Engage. Alambertian also is running 2 copies for the Math Mech. So really expensive deck as well. Almost the same expense with the Labyrinth. But yeah, it keeps getting better. SRs, you have 3 copies of Widow Anchor. You basically need to max this out. 1 copy of Hornet Drone. The Shizuku is a really good card as well, so go for 3 copies of this. Zik is on 1 copy. Laplacian is on 1 for the Math Mech. Sigma is on 3. Nabla is on 1 copy. Nobody is using Magma for the Math Mech, so that is basically your SRs. For the rares, people are running 1 copy of Multi-Roll, 2 copies of Afterburners, 1 copy of Area Zero, 2 copies of Kaina, or some people are just running 1 copy of Kaina. Hayate is 3 copies basically, because you need to search out more cards and dump it to the graveyard. The Ray and the Rose, you typically need 3 copies of this, and this is the only monsters you'll have in your deck aside from the hand traps. Subtraction is on 2 copies, diameter is on 3, addition is on 2 as well. Depending on your build, it is a 1-off for the addition and the subtraction. Diameter is on 2, basically, depending on the build. For the commons, you have multiplication on 1. Nobody's running division. Equation is to 1. Jamming waves, some people are running 1 copy of this. Short cannon, some people are running on 2 copies for this. And lastly, superfactorial for the math mechs is 1 copy of. So that is typically for the math mech and the Sky Striker archetype. So some other supports. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the math mech. So supports for this is typically 1 secret pack, which you can get crafting a copy of access code, and other than that, that's the only support that is way better. Second of all, if you need a copy of Silent Mining for this build, so advisably go for the structure deck for the Salamangrate. So that is really insane. So just buy the 3 copies of Salamangrates. They can easily go into the Math Mech archetype later along the line. For the Sky Strikers, of course, the only supports that you can basically add for this deck, the copy of Chicken Game and a copy of Upstart Goblin, which are really good cards as well to allow you to draw cards, but they are from the Master Pack in some cases, so you need to craft them. I think they are the best supports for the Sky Strikers, being spell cards and all, and you can just dump them to the graveyard. So that is Sky Strikers for you guys. Let's move towards the next secret pack. Alright guys, so for our next secret pack, we will be talking about the Alba Abyss. And yes, you guessed that right, it is the branded Despia secret pack. So that being, some people are running 0 to 1 copy of Alba Lenatus. People are running 2 copies of Lebellion depending on your build. Some people are running 1. 2 copies of Mirror Jade, of course, really important for the deck. 2 copies of Albion, the branded dragon. Some people are running 1 copy of Titanic Light in their deck, but some people are none. Mercurier, you can go with 1 to 2 copies in your deck as well, depending on the build. Branded Vision max at 1 out. Sadly, we are running only with 1 copy because of the Master Duel ban list. And Branded Lost, you typically need 1 copy of this in most of your deck. And then the Dear Servant, this is typically Dogmatica support, so I'm not sure if you really want to use this one. SRs. So SRs, the only important one here for the SRs is the copy of Branded in White and the Branded in Banishment. Also, the Fallen Valbas. So 2 or 3 copies of this in your deck, depending on your build. For the rares, you have 1 copy of Albion or 2 copies of Albion the Shrouded, depending on the build. The Brigand and the Sprine, the Iron Dash Dragon, people are not usually running this, but if ever they are, most of the time they're running 1 copy of Brigand. The Spring and Skit, 1 copy. What else? The Branded in Red is 1 copy, and the Branded Retribution is on 1 copy. If ever you're using the Visual engine into this archetype, then typically you need a copy of Branded Retribution. What else? For the commons, we'll have 2 copies of Branded Opening, and some people are running the copy of the Theater of the Branded. The only thing that you need to craft outside this secret pack is the Alibird, and that is not from a secret pack or a master pack. So cards that you'll need outside from the secret pack is the Fusion Deployment, which you can acquire from accessing the structure deck for the Cyber Dragons. I think that is the Cybernetic Succession. For the Alibird, you basically need to craft that one because it's not from a specific secret pack. So the Garura, the Cartesia, the Visual Monsters, and the Guardian Chimera are all URs. Not to mention, of course, the Grand Ganule and the copy of Striking Dragon is UR as well. Branded SPS is a really expensive deck, or way expensive than Labyrinth. And that is the Alba Abyss secret pack. So let's move towards the next secret pack. So for our next secret pack right here, guys, we have here Shot Through Fiction. So this is the Dragon Link secret pack. So right off the bat, we have here all the core cards that you'll basically need for the Dragon Link archetype, but I would like to inform you guys that Boral End Dragon is not included in this secret pack, so you need to craft it. Other supporting secret packs as well is from the Dragunity and the Chaos. So the Chaos one, you'll gain access to most of your Chaos monsters, and of course, a copy of your Chaos Ruler and Chaos Space. For the Dragunity, you basically need the field spell for that one, which is really important for the deck, and a copy of Remulus. I think Remulus is on rare copy, so you can just basically craft it. Other than that, for the secret pack for the Dragon Links, you'll basically need 1 copy of Borreload Savage Dragon as your only UR for the extra deck. For the SRs, you need 1 copy of Absorouter, 3 copies or 2 copies of Tracer depending on your build, Striker Dragon on 2 copies, Boot Sector Launch on 1, and Quick Launch on 3 copies just to spell summon your Rocket monster. For the rares, you basically need 1 copy of Rocket Synchron, 1 copy of Triple Burst Dragon, and that's basically it. Some people are running a copy of Magna Rocket, if ever that's the case. For the commons, you'll have 1 copy of Rocket Recharger, Dilingirus Dragon, you have 1 copy of that, or you can just go with Triple Burst Dragon. It's way more effective. Other notable cards as well that is also important for the Dragon Link is the Bishops, which are all dragons as well. So those are the cards that you basically need for the Dragon Link deck. But yeah, that is the Dragon Link secret pack. Let's move towards the next secret pack. Alright, so for our next secret pack right here, guys, we have the Scareclaws. So whopping 8 URs in their secret pack. This can actually make a really good deck. So first and foremost, we have the Vista Starfrost on 1 copy for your deck, 3 copies of the Scareclaw Rhino Heart, which is very important, the 2 copies of Tri-Heart, the 2 copies of Light Heart, and the 3 copies of Rhycophobia. Rhycophobia will allow you to add 1 Scareclaw monster, and of course, if ever you have 3 or more monsters on defense, you can pop 1 card on the field. Really important as well. SRs, you basically need 1 copy of Straddle. Some people are not really using this one. For the rares, you typically need 2 or 3 copies of Arrival, depending on the build. What else? For the commons, you'll basically need like 3 OBS for the other Scareclaw monsters, the Bellone, the Astra, and the Acro. You need to max this one out to 3 copies. Other than that, that's basically it for the Scareclaws. So other supports for this archetype, you can go for the DPE engine for this, or the Adventure engine just to have negate on the board. So that's Scareclaws. Let's move towards the next secret pack. Alright, so for our next secret pack, we have here the Star-Studded Futures. Now this is typically the Math Mech and Orcos secret pack. It is kind of okay though. So the Dingirso, you need 2 copies of this in the deck. Max out a copy of Girso, which is really important. For the Crusadia archetype, or typically for the Orcos archetype, this is still a really good staple for your extra deck anyways. So Mech Knight Crusadia is a really good one-off. For the SRs, you typically need 3 copies of Equamax for a Crusadia deck. 1 copy of Longirso for the Orcos. Galatea, you need 2 copies of this. Crusadia Magus, you need 2 copies or 3 copies depending on the build, and the Crescendo on 1 copy for the Orcos archetype. For the rares, of course, you need 1 copy of Babel. Wait, Pistia is here? Pistia is also included in the Dragon Link, by the way, so it is just a rare copy, so you just craft this one. Babel, you need 1 copy of this. Harp Horror, you need 3 copies of this. Nightmare, you go for 2. And World 1, go for 1 copy for an Orcos deck. For the Crusadia, go for 2 or just go for 2 copies of Arborea. And other than that, you can go for 2 or 1 copy. No, wait, go for 3 copies of this. This is the send 1 Orcos monster to the grave. For the commons, you have basically 1 copy of Symbol Skeleton. For the Reclusia, go for 3 copies of this. The Leoness, go for 2, and the Draco, go for 2. The Spathia, go for 1, and the Regolex, go for 2. And I think that's basically it. You can go with 1 copy of Bombard as well for the Orcos archetype, depending on the build. But yeah, that is the Orcos and the Crusadia archetype. So support cards for the Crusadia, first and foremost, we have the Kaijus, which is accessible from a secret pack. For the Orcos, by the way, I think the best one that I really tested by far is running a copy of Bishops with the Orcos. It works perfectly well. But other than that, I haven't gone through the whole Orcos archetype on whichever good cards you can add for the deck. But as long as they're dark monsters, they are really good into summoning a ton of monsters to the field. That's the Crusadia and the Orcos archetype. Let's move towards the next secret pack. Alright, so for our next secret pack, we'll have here the Rika. So this is the Blooming in Adversity secret pack. So for the Rika archetype, so first and foremost, we have 1 copy of Rika Queen for your deck. The Strena is on 2 copies. The Jasmine is on 2, depending on the build. You have the Lone Flower Blossom in some of your builds. Go for 3 copies. The Rika Fairy. The Mudan in 2 copies, I would say. We have here for the rares, you basically need a copy of... Oh, there's not much. Oh yeah, there we go. So the Snowdrop on 1 copy. And that's basically it. For the normals or the commons, you'll basically need a copy of Primula on 2, the Erika on 1, the Rika Petal on 3. The Rika Concon is from the solo mode, so you can attain that one. It's easy enough to access. The Rika Princess, you need 3 copies of this, so it's also accessible from the solo mode, so really good. Some other secret packs that supports this secret pack is from the Sun of Land secret pack, which you'll basically get most of your support cards as well. Also for the Therians, so you'll basically need 2 copies of Borea with 1 copy of Regulus with 1 copy of Field Spells. So that is the Rika archetype, and let's move towards the next and last secret pack. Alright, so for our last secret pack, we have here the Number Recall. Now, I do believe people don't really like this secret pack because it's just the Numeron archetype. But yeah, like I said, if you're trying to make a deck out of it, this is one of your go-to decks that you can easily, or in crafting a deck anyways. So, Numeron Network, you need 3 copies of this. For the SRs, you need 1 copy of Numeron Wall, 1 copy of C1. Number 60 and number 41 are really good staples, so you need to access that one. For the rare cards, you just basically need a copy of Numeron Calling on 3 copies. And oh yeah, here we go. So the number 97 Draglubian, you can go for an OTK with the help of your Numeron Dragon. So that is the rares. For the commons, you'll basically need 2 copies of each for the Numeron monsters, which is the number 1, 2, 3, and the 4. So these monsters are really important, and that will give you the OTK that you'll need for the deck. Other notable cards outside the secret packs, or that supports this secret pack, is the copy of Avramax, which we got from the Orcos archetype. You can just basically need 1 copy of Avramax, so you can just craft that one. Other notable cards you need for this is the Lava Golem, or Kaijus per se. The Lava Golem can be accessed from the Legacy packs. Of course, the limiter removal, which is really important for the deck since your Numeron monsters are machines. You can access that one from another secret pack. So those are the top 10 secret packs that I would like to recommend to you guys. Other notable mentions is the Evil Eye secret pack, which are 4 URs in the secret pack. The only downside for that is there is 1 UR that came from a selection pack, and also a monster from that specific selection pack that I think it already phased out. So you can't access that one, but instead you can just craft that UR and that rare card on 3 copies. Anywho, Traptrix is the next secret pack also for our other notable mention. Also, some other URs and SRs are from a selection pack that already phased out from the store. That also includes the extra deck monster of the Pingokula, which is from the selection pack. So you need to craft these ones. I think they're mostly closely related to expense with the Labyrinth archetype. Alright, the next one we'll have is Dinos. So Dinos, the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, is from 1 specific secret pack. The supports for this deck is from 2 other secret packs. So one would be from the Scrap secret pack, and the other one would be from the Evil Tsar secret pack, the Lagia, and a copy of Doka. Other than that, that's the only secret packs that you can go into, and it's still a really strong deck as well. So the next secret pack for notable mentions is Thunder Dragons as well. All the cards are there. Some supporting secret packs you'll basically need from the Battery Man secret pack, and you'll just need like 3 copies of that UR monster. Other than that, you can basically craft a Thunder Dragon deck with it. So some other notable secret pack, we have also the Dogmatica archetype, which is basically from 1 secret pack, so you can just access them out from there. The only downside for this is the Matrix and the Zoa is from a specific selection pack, which has already phased out from the stores. Another downside for this is the extra deck monsters are basically URs, which of course you need to use with the help of Dogmatica Punishment. So good targets for this is the Garura. The Arclight is from another secret pack, but you can just craft that one. It's just an SR. Aggregator is from a selection pack that was phased out way back. So that's Dogmatica. The next notable secret pack is from the Draco Slayer secret pack. We have a lot of good supports from here recently from the Rage of Chaos secret selection pack. They are from 3 copies, so I don't think you really want to go into that one. Most of the supports are URs, so it's really expensive as well. But if you're into the Draco Slayer archetype, this is the one for you. So those are the 10 secret packs and the notable mention secret packs for deck building. Let's move towards the next topic, which are the engines. Alright guys, so the next phase that we're going to talk about are the secret packs that has really good engines in them. So currently we only have 2 that I would like to recommend to you guys. So first and foremost, we have here our Kaijus and Danger archetype. So these are really good engines to add into the deck. So first and foremost, Kaijus has really been one of the go-to cards if ever you're trying to remove some boss monsters. Dangerous as well if you're trying to draw more cards and dump cards to the graveyard. So I think that it's really good with most of the decks. I think the most important one here are the kaijus, that being that can remove boss monsters on the field. Some people are running different kaijus on different builds depending on their archetype, depending on their type, and depending on their attribute. For the dangers, on the other hand, they are mostly used for a 40-card deck with the Dark Worlds, which is really good if they are discarded to the graveyard by the effect of the danger monster. So that is your kaijus and your dangers. Let's move towards the last secret pack. So our last secret pack is typically the Guided by Fate secret pack. So this was added into the game last August 10th, so much earlier than the other one. So we'll have here the Adventure archetype added into this. So the Aramesir, the 1 copy of Water Enchantress, and the Wandering Griffin Rider are your cards for the Adventure engine. Other notable cards here, I'm not really sure if they are really that important. Oh yeah, here we go. So Faithful Adventure is on 1 copy. Dracoback, the Rideable Dragon, is on 1 copy. But yeah, those are the notable cards: the Dracoback, the Faithful Adventure, and the UR monsters for the Aramesir, the Water Enchantress, and the Wandering Griffin Rider as your engines for a deck. So that is basically it for the engine secret packs. Let's move towards the next phase, which is the staples. Alright guys, so for our next topic, we'll be talking about the staple cards that you can access from a secret pack. So first and foremost, we have Baron the Floor. So Baron the Floor can be accessed with the secret pack of the Noble Knights of Crimson Flowers. So that is easy enough to access. They actually added that one into the game lately. I think that was last month. So we can access Baron the Floor if ever you're trying to open an Infer Noble Knight secret pack as well. The next one we'll be talking about Nibiru as one of the best staples nowadays for the game. So this can be attained from the Invaders from Outer Space, which is for the Worm secret pack. And the next one we'll have Electromite. So Electromite is a really good staple cards for Pendulums. So you can access this one from the Those Who Stand Against the Kings. This is from the Christian secret pack. So you can access this one from that secret pack. And the next monster for staples is the Erratic Seal of Heavenly Spears. Really good dragon support. So this is from the Ogdodyke secret packs. Or this can be attained also from the Dragon Maid structure deck if you wish. So the next one we have Chaos Ruler, a really good Synchro 8 monster which can be attained from the Inevitable of Chaos or the Chaos secret packs. The next one we'll have here Fairy Tale Snow. So this can be accessed from the Legends of Old secret pack, which is the Ancient Warrior secret pack. And the next we have Linguribo. So Linguribo is from the AI Omniscience. I think this is for the Ignister secret pack. I think so, yeah, this is the Ignister secret pack. And the next one we'll have Nightmare Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Cerberus as one of the best staple cards for Link monsters. So these can be accessed for the Mech Knight secret pack, and by far they are really good for most of the Link based decks. Next one we'll have Harpy Sphere Duster, which you can attain from the Glory on Wings, which is the Harpy secret pack. And this is on the URs. Well, typically it is understandable because this is actually a Harpy Lady card. The next one we'll have here Forbidden Droplet, and you can get this one from the Deceitful Wings of Darkness, which is the Dark Lord's secret pack. So it's really good though. The next one we'll have Access Code Talker, which you can access from the Soldiers from the Storm, which is the Cyber's secret pack. The next one we'll have Cyframe Gear Gamma, and of course IP Masquerena, which can be attained from the S4 secret pack. And then we have our Rescue Cat and our Rescue Rabbit as our last staple cards. So this is really good for beast decks. You can attain this one from the Forest Friends, which is from the Melfi secret pack, and it's accessible for you on UR. So with that is the conclusion of our staple secret packs. Let's move towards to the packs that has their own structure decks. Alright guys, so we're almost done with our phases. So our last topic for today guys is secret packs that has their own structure deck. So you don't need to buy the secret pack or open the secret pack to gain access to those cards, but instead buy the structure deck in general. So our first archetype that has their own structure deck is the Salamandrake. So this is the Burning Spirit structure deck, which they have their own secret pack also, but I advisably go for this structure deck. Silent Mining, like I said earlier, was very useful for Math archetypes, so you can gain access to this one, so really good. And the next one we'll have here, Black Wing. So this is the Black Wings Pride structure deck. They have their own secret pack, by the way, but I think this advisably one of the best structure deck there is, having access to most of the URs that you cannot like access from the secret pack as well. So really insane for this archetype to have all of the cards needed for a Blackwing deck. And the next one, we'll have the Cyber Dragon structure deck, which is the cybernetic successor. Like I said earlier, you can gain access to fusion deployment with the help of this structure deck. So really insane, and I think that's basically it, what you'll need from this pack alone if you want to go into the branded Despia. But other than that, this is a really promising deck or structure deck as well if you're really in favor with the Cyber Dragons. And I think recently Cyber Dragons has or garnered its support, so really good that this is going to be like playable even in rank, so that's nice. The next one we'll have here our Dark Magician structure deck, which is the Vortex of Magic. So most of the cards here are new. That includes the Dark Magicians and the Master of Chaos, so that's really insane. You can attain this one from the structure deck. So most of the supports as well are all here from the secret pack as well for your Dark Magician, so you don't need to access the secret pack alone. So all of the things you'll need for a Dark Magician deck is all here. That includes the Illusion of Chaos. So really insane that they actually added this one. Really nice for the Dark Magician support. So our next one is the Immortal Glory structure deck, which is the zombies. So we have here our new zombie supports as well. So the Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord and the Skeletal Dragon Felgrand. Also, we have the copy of Zombie World, which is a really good card as well. So this is a really strong field spell that you can gain access for zombies. Really insane. Good thing they added this one in the structure deck. It was really hard to craft this one before. So really insane for Konami doing this into a structure deck. And all the supports as well for zombies are all here. What else? The Guzuki and the Mizuki added into this with, of course, the Necro World Banshee, allowing you to gain access to the zombie world. So the next one, we'll have the Dragon Maid to Order structure decks, which is the Dragon Maids, of course. So easy enough to access, and like I said earlier, you can access the Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spears. You can use this one for your Dragon Link deck or any dragon-based deck for that matter. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon can be used for the Dragon Link deck as well, so really good, really insane. Other than that, most of the supports here are for Dragon Maids, so really insane that they actually made a deck for this. So our last and final structure deck, we have here Pendulum Magicians, or the Magician of Pendulum structure deck. So this is basically Pendulum Magicians at its own right. Most of the supports here are, well, typically here. So you basically have access to that. This is a really good card, by the way. Most of the cards that you'll need for a Pendulum deck is right here, basically. It would be better if they have the new, Pendulum supports added into this structure deck. But nevertheless, it's perfectly fine. This is still a really good structure deck as well if you are starting off or getting a hold of most of your Pendulum cards. So guys, that is basically it for today. Those are my informations with regards to your secret packs. Hope this one was really insightful for new and old players in making a deck, in getting a hold of any good engines, stable cards, and even structure decks that you did not or may have known already for Master Duel. So I think that's basically it. I'll end my segment right here, and that is basically the end of this video. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.